Welcome to the quiet, charming world of Stardew Valley. Here, you'll step away from the hustle and bustle of modern life and start fresh in the peaceful countryside. Imagine waking up each morning to tend to your crops, caring for animals, exploring caves, and forging friendships with the warm, quirky residents of Pelican Town. It's a world where every decision you make shapes your farm, your relationships, and your legacy. Whether you want to build the farm of your dreams, find love, or simply unwind at your own pace, Stardew Valley offers something for everyone. But there's more to this cozy game than just farming. From fishing competitions to secret festivals, hidden mysteries to heartwarming moments, it's a place full of surprises and endless possibilities. We're talking about Stardew Valley. What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3VO, where we are all on the same team. I'm one of your hosts today, Brendan.
And I'm the other one, Jordan.
And if you're new here, we are just two big ol' nerds who absolutely love video games and sharing our love of video games with the world and what makes them great. So if you too are a lover of video games, then this is the show for you. As always, it's time to check in. Jordan, how you doing?
I'm completely hijacking this podcast today. We are now a pure Erika Ishii fan podcast, and we're going to talk about nothing else except for how amazing Erika Ishii is from now on. This is all we're doing.
I mean, I don't know that they need the promo, but...
No, for sure. No, but I did...
We can be an Erika Ishii fan podcast, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. No, I do bring it up because one of the things I wanted to bring up at the beginning here was, I don't know if you saw the news that got announced recently, they announced a sequel game to the PlayStation game, Ghosts of Tsushima.
Okay.
There's a new game coming out called The Ghost of Yutai. If I'm pronouncing all this terribly, I'm so sorry. I promise you I'm trying my best.
You got Erika Ishii.
I got Erika Ishii in there.
Yeah.
But the reason why I brought them up to begin with is because they are also announced as the lead in the game Ghost of Yutai, which is just
so fucking rad.
Super fucking cool. So very excited about that. Leading into that, though, that is part of what I've been up to. I'm now finally playing the Ghost of Tsushima,
okay.
To be able to prep myself for it, because I'm definitely going to get that game now for sure.
Obviously.
When it comes out. So very, very excited about that. Everyone on the internet's being really, really cool about the announcement for the game. Hasn't been any issues with like people being assholes online for zero reason.
Because the lead is, I mean, I'm presuming that the lead is going to be a woman in the game. Okay.
Yes, because it is going to be Erika Ishii in the game.
Right.
So everyone's been super chill about that.
That's good.
And, side note thought, I realized the other day that one day we won't have to hear from the incels anymore because they'll just all die one day.
Yep.
And they're not going to leave any lineages behind. So one day we'll just be done. It'll just be over. But that's unrelated to anything I was just talking about.
Careful. It sounds like you want to break out the soapbox.
No, not today. We're keeping it positive today.
What's the, 2-sentence pitch about Ghost of Tsushima? I don't actually know.
So you play a samurai on the brink of during the time when the Mongols are invading China and just taking over one of the invading. This is not the 2-sentence pitch that you asked for. I'm
Certainly
sorry,
isn't.
Mama don't know no short stories, so I don't know what to tell you here.
Please continue.
But basically, you are a disgrace is the wrong word, but sort of a cut down samurai who was thought to have died in battle, coming back to help repel the Mongol forces that have invaded your area.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a third-person hack and slash type situation.
It's such its own beast in a way. The closest comparison I have would be it's kind of Assassin's Creed, Tomb Raider esque. It's a little platformy. It's a little stealth mission operation-y.
Okay.
But yeah, it is a lot of sword fighting. It's a lot of just running around, saving people, adventure-y kind of stuff. Light RPG-esque would actually be more. Slightly, yeah. Kind of in that vein.
Okay, cool.
Open world, running around, yeah.
Sounds right up my alley.
You would really enjoy it. The storytelling is really, really good. Mm-hmm. The look of the game is beautiful, but just some of the interactive options in the game are just really cool. Everything is fit to even the UI kind of is there to sort of fit the aesthetic and look of things. There's a map for the game, but the way that you actually get guided around is that you hit a button on your controller and the wind blows in the direction that you're supposed to be going, and that's what you follow around. Just cool little aesthetic choices that really like help nail down like the feeling of the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm enjoying it, and it's only getting me more excited for the sequel.
That's cool. Now, what consoles can you play that on?
It's a PlayStation exclusive.
Oh, rats. Well,
so one of these days I'll just have to let you borrow my PlayStation.
Okay.
And just let you hang out with it for a weekend or so.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's pretty much what I've been up to since we got back.
Right.
We also just got done with vacation.
We all just got back from a vacation.
Which is probably why the vibe today is a little...
a little bit more chill than...
It's a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
And that was great. But yeah.
Except that we had to go through the Seattle fucking airport to get back. Oh
Seattle, get your fucking shit together on the airport. Jesus Christ.
This is a threat. Seattle airport, get your shit together. Get it all together.
Hey, maybe in this post 9/11 climate, we don't directly threaten an airport
on
a podcast. Fair. Maybe let's not do that.
All right.
Maybe that's not the vibe to go.
I'll walk it back.
But seriously, though, that airport was a nightmare and a fucking
horrible. It was horrible.
It was the energy that it had to me was that it was just like they built the airport the night before. And then the morning of, they were like, wait, so who's going to do everything? And then just like panic put people in spots. Was kind of like the vibe that I got for that place.
The front of the airport is way too small.
Far too small.
Far too small.
Far too small for, yeah.
And the gates are like, there's like the east wing and the west wing of gates, and they're each on their own separate little like shuttle tracks. And if you need to get to this one, then you have to take a different shuttle to get to that one, and then a shuttle to get to that gate.
Yep.
I'm so glad that I didn't have a layover there, or
oh my God,
or a connecting flight or anything like that. What an absolute nightmare it would have been. I was just departing from the Seattle airport, but like, what?
We were stuck there for about 7 hours.
I cannot even imagine. I mean, at least once you get to the gates, there's like space and you can like sit down and stuff. But like the experience
initial getting through
to the gate, horrid,
awful.
Also, we almost were at the N7 gate. And then they moved us.
Oh, it's a bummer and a half.
I know. We almost got to fly to the N7 gate.
It
like said it on our boarding pass, N7. We were like, oh, that's really cool. And then all of the bullshit happened getting into the airport. And then they changed it to N8. And we were like, this is the worst airport ever.
that was the determining factor for what made it the worst airport on the planet.
But we are back from a lovely trip to Alaska and
so what have you been up to since we've gotten back?
I had to jump back into work and
same.
Choreographing and rehearsals and blah 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 blah. So I haven't really I had a night off last night, the first night off since we got back.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. So I've been busy.
See, I got home, was supposed to start working the next day. I just texted my boss and I was just like, I'm not gonna go to work tomorrow.
Right, which is the call. I had the day off from like work, but I had rehearsal that night.
Yeah, but you still it's still work. It's still work. So basically, no breaks coming home for you.
No. But we did get back home first, so there was that.
It's true.
But anyways, as far as like video games, me and Garrett picked up an MMO last night that we're enjoying. It's called Throne and Liberty. Because of course it is.
Those horns come from.
It's just a really very well put together MMO. Like a lot of quality of life stuff that you don't usually see in MMOs.
Really?
It's super smooth. The load times are like nothing. Like literally fast travel is like, hey, I'm way over here in this field. I want to go back to town. Fast travel, please. And there's like an animation that takes like 3 seconds or something, and then boom, you're back in town, loaded with a whole bunch of other players running around.
On PC, or are you guys playing this on?
I'm playing it on the Xbox.
Oh my god, okay.
And Garrett's playing it on PC and cross-platform. So
sweet,
that's
awesome.
another quality of life thing.
Love that.
You'll love to see it. Yeah, it's a good experience. We're not too far into it right now, but really, really good experience so far. Cool cutscenes, cool story happening. Yeah, really enjoying it.
Okay, what's like the overall look? Like, what's the aesthetic style?
It's very high fantasy, medieval, running around, casting spells, doing the thing. You're like a magical person that was born with a magical piece of a something, and everybody's out to get you.
So pretty classic.
Exactly. It's nothing novel, but it's good. It's like just a really polished version of what it's doing.
Sometimes it's nice to get something that is just like, yes, this is run of the mill. We've seen this before, but this is just a really good version of the thing you've seen before, like the D&D movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There you go.
Formulaic, nothing super crazy out there, but it's fun, well done, well made. Yeah, all about that.
Exactly. So we're really enjoying that. And that's all I've been doing because that's all I have time for because I've just been choreographing and working and I did get booked for another show though.
That's awesome. Yeah, congratulations.
I've got another show lined up. I don't want to say too much about it yet. Because the 5 people that are listening, might actually know people involved. I'm kidding, of course. No, but I do have another project lined up for spring of next year, choreographing and getting paid for it. It's great.
Awesome. It's so cool. That's so cool, dude.
I'm so excited.
You're getting paid to make art.
I'm getting paid to do theater and stuff.
It's amazing. Didn't think it could happen to one of us, but it did.
I know. Well, it happened to my husband.
Oh, yeah, true. Very, very true.
All right, with all of that out of the way, let's get into what we're really here to talk about, and that is Stardew Valley. Just right at the top, Jordan, what do you know about Stardew Valley?
I am aware that it exists.
Okay.
That's kind of the big one for me.
Good start.
It's obviously a very popular game, so I've seen a lot of stuff for. I'm aware sort of like the overall kind of pixelated aesthetic that it has. I know it's sort of more of like what is more commonly called as like a cozy kind of like couch game. Absolutely. Just like hanging out, low stress vibes for the most part. So I remember when it initially popped up, I was just like, this probably isn't going to be my vibe because that's not normally my thing. Absolutely. Like outside of a couple little things like Spiritfarer and stuff like that, that's not normally kind of like what I gravitate towards too.
Sure. Yeah.
I do know that there's a ghost involved somehow, so like that's a little intriguing.
Okay. Yeah. There's a ghost. Yeah.
But yeah, it's farming, taking care of animals, mining, just like all within that vein of like that kind of like typical kind of stuff. But there's also like relationships that you could have with people and like different dynamics and stuff like that too.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's like it breaks out of the mold a little bit in that sense.
Well, kind of, but not that much. You don't play a lot of these games.
I really don't. So to be fair, yeah.
Now, what I will say is that Stardew Valley definitely like changed the genre and like became the template for farming games of this style. Like the pixel art, like top-down farming sims. Yeah. This is the benchmark now.
Ooh, okay, interesting.
It gets better, let me tell you more. So, please. For anybody that's not in the know, in Stardew Valley, you play as the inheritor of your now deceased grandfather's farm that is located in the titular Stardew Valley. And you have to learn how to cultivate crops, tend to animals, and build relationships with the locals in this game. There's, I want to say 5 or 6 different skills, like farming, fishing, combat is a thing, and you build that up over the years, and there's really not a goal. There's not really like a campaign. There is obviously stuff that you can do, and there's like breadcrumb trails to follow to do, and there is something called like completion or perfection. There's like perfection and then true perfection, and you get these by, I know, but there's those are the benchmarks basically that you can achieve in the game, and then if you reach those you like win. But in that what is very endemic of the style is like you can just keep going forever, kind of in perpetuity, and this is kind of one of those first games that kind of like set that as the standard of like, let's just let it keep going. You can have your farm for as many years in game time as you like.
Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about the development of Stardew Valley. Do you want to know the team behind Stardew Valley?
100%, always.
Okay. His name is Eric Baroni, otherwise known as Concerned Ape professionally, and that's it.
It was just one. Wait, one time out.
I was so hopeful that you didn't know this. Yeah.
No idea. It was one dude who made this game?
One guy over many years. He made all of the pixel art, the music, all of the sound effects, all of the story, and all of the dialogue. Everything.
That is
one guy.
That is what. Okay. First of all, what's his last name?
Baroni, I think. It's Barone.
That sounds like a dude who would make Stardew Valley, and I mean that in the best way possible.
Barony?
Barony sounds really cute. I like that too, actually. It's really sweet. Barony's really good too. Secondly, that really blows me away because one of the things that I heard early on when Stardew Valley first became as popular as it was just how polished the game was.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that it was the look, the gameplay, art style, the music as well.
Yeah.
People rave about the music in Stardew Valley all the time. And I get it. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's the tone's perfect for it. It makes it just like, that's wild.
Yeah. He was inspired by games like Harvest Moon, which became Story of Seasons, Animal Crossing, Minecraft, all of those like cozy build 'em up type games. He was inspired by that, but he was kind of feeling like nothing is really doing everything perfectly and well. So that's what I want to do. He made the game that he wanted to play is basically what his inspiration was. And then Stardew was born. It took him many years, obviously. But
if you had told me he made it in 3 months, I'd have been upset.
Yeah. Could you imagine? No. He took many years, but he did literally everything. He was having a hard time finding a job in like computer engineering in video games specifically, and he was like, "Well, I'm just going to work on this, and maybe I can put it on my resume." Yeah,
and then he just like, ended up making one of the most popular games that's come out in decades. Can you imagine learning that the dude who made Stardew Valley was one of the guys you were like, this guy's not gonna get a job? One of the guys you passed on. You're just like, just someone in a computer tech job just kicking himself in the ass over and over again.
I hope so, because the game is a masterpiece, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And anybody that plays it, I think, can agree. It's just really, really the ideal of each different like aspect of a farming game is like you have it. It's super cozy. There's no time limit really or rushing. It's not like, oh, you have to do this by the end of the year or anything like that. It's like nothing like that. Also just like little things that the creator put in. There's no butchering of animals. You don't get to do that. So animal products like that aren't a thing, but you can milk your cows and tend to your chickens and get eggs, things like that. But you don't turn them into food. And then also something that stood out to me is that cooking is not profitable. You can't make a bunch of dishes and then sell them for a bunch of money to just like get rich really quick. They offer improvements and buffs to your other skills to kind of encourage you to go out and do other things. So you can make a meal and maybe so like you can eat a meal and maybe it makes you better at foraging. So when you go and forage, you get like double of your forage instead of like only a single item. So like things like that.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So going off of that, I say that there's no campaign in this game. Yeah. There really isn't, but there kind of is. There's a lot of stuff that you can do. And the perfection that I was referring to is sort of like a list of achievements that if you get them all, then you hit perfection. You know, it's like make this much money, grow one of every type of crop, like find every type of like ore, things like that. You know, a lot of like collection, basically. And that helps you get perfection. And then there's like even better perfection. But anyways, the spirit of your grandfather comes back.
Yes.
At the end of, I think, the second year, and is like, I will assess your farm. And it basically tells you if you hit perfection, if you did everything on the list.
Oh, okay.
And that involves like I said, animals, crops, finding stuff, foraging stuff, and relationships with the villagers, which are many. There are many different villagers that you can make friends with, a bunch of them that you can date and then marry, which is part of the game.
I've seen stuff for that, of people having their preferred, like, relationships. And
also, big win, you can marry anybody, regardless of gender.
Hell yes. Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
I do want to say, though, just like for me, it's nice to hear that, like, even though, as you put it in quotation marks of, like, campaign and whatnot.
Yeah.
But for someone like me, who that's always, like, kind of the thing that keeps me away from certain cozy games and eventually kind of, like, took me out of things like Minecraft, was even though, like, yeah, there's stuff within it that is just, like, you can do this and this and this, and, like, you can go fight the Ender Dragon, blah, blah, blah. There's no, like, plot line for me to kind of follow.
Right.
This sounds like that. It's like the option's kind of there to be like, you do have this thing that you can kind of follow along that can be a bit of a narrative and a story for you that branches off into these other kind of like narratives and stories and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that actually makes me very intrigued to want to like try this out myself, to be like, okay, there is actually something there that isn't, it's still cozy. It's not high stakes, something crazy.
No, It's
you know what I mean?
stakes,
Yeah.
basically.
It's not like the ghost of your grandfather's there, just like,
Yes.
you must save the farm or else...
Right,
like,
exactly.
you know what I mean?
It's not that plot line at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Although, we haven't even gotten to the best part. There's an anti-capitalist message.
Yes.
So let's get to it. So, the other kind of campaign-y type thing is actually, it's a choice. There's this corporation that is in Pelican Town, which is the town right next door to your farm, where all of the villagers live. It's called Joja Corporation, and it's got a little kind of smiley icon, so you can kind of deduce who they might be poking fun at.
Amazing.
Right.
Amazing.
So they have like a shop in town, and you can get like cheaper stuff there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like one of the villagers works there. It's a whole thing, right? So aside from that, there is this old abandoned like community building, kind of like what's the word? Like a community center.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
It's a community center. And it's like abandoned and locked up, but the mayor at one point is like, "Oh, I think I hear something inside," and like takes you in, and you can see these like little magical creatures in there that are like maybe helpful, maybe not. You don't know. They're kind of like sprites. Anyways,
Okay.
I don't want to give too much away. But anyways, the mayor is like, "Yeah, Joja Corporation wants to buy this place to build a warehouse. Should we do it?" and you have the choice. You can opt for the Joja Corporation, but it's very much like you're kind of steered in the other direction. At least I think so. Maybe that's just my little anti-capitalist heart.
You know?
But you're kind of steered away from that. So you instead decide, I'm going to restore the community center. So by making like these little offerings to the sprites that are there, they help like repair the building. And then you can repair all of the different rooms. And then it's like you won basically, and then you kick Joja Corporation out of the town.
You just had to get me. I just kind of like, I can screw over a major corporation in town.
Yeah.
Didn't know that was a part of the game.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm in. Now I'm totally in. I'm playing this game. I'm 100% playing this game.
Yeah. At one point in the story, the guy, the like owner or manager or whatever of the store, comes into the other store, which is like a general goods store.
Yeah.
Run by one of the villagers who's like selling what he can to like make a living for him and his family.
Yeah.
They like live in the back room. You know, it's like very that.
Yes.
The guy comes in and is like, coupons for stuff at Joja Corp for anybody that wants them, and like hands out coupons to the people literally in another store. Horrible.
And that's the one part where the game opens up combat and you can just beat them to death, right?
No, you can't beat him to death.
Well,
But that's not the only combat there is in the game. There is actually a lot of combat.
okay.
Only in designated areas, which is really nice. So if you
I appreciate that.
don't want that vibe, you just want to
Don't do it.
do your farming and your animals and your whatever, your fishing, you don't have to fight anything. But if you're of a mind to, you can go down into the mines where there's a lot of ore to be like dug up. You can get like gold, silver, copper, gemstones, other, various artifacts and things. But there's monsters down there too.
Okay, so that to me is where like the Minecraft inspiration gets pulled, because it's a similar
Very
thing
much.
where it's like lots of stuff to get down here, guys, but
Yeah.
skeletons, zombies, blah 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 blah.
Absolutely, yeah. And the deeper you go, the harder and harder it gets.
What's like the vibe for the monsters or creatures that you fight in the mines?
You've got like bugs, and you've got slimes, and then you've got like skeleton zombie type things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of still keeping within the spirit of like it's stuff that we kind of already kind of find gross in the world.
Yeah.
Or things that's like no one's really fighting skeletons and zombies.
Right,
and,
exactly,
We
yeah.
all agree that if they did pop up, smack them the fuck down.
Right, exactly.
Okay, I like that.
Right. So that's one of the, kind of places that you can go explore, find extra stuff. And if you get all the way to the bottom, you get like extra good loot and stuff. And this is a good time. There's the mines just north of town, and then there's mines in the desert, which are even harder.
Okay.
There's a whole desert area to explore. There's a lot going on in this game.
What's like just like briefly, if you could describe like the scope of like map that you kind of get to run around in? Because again, it's like Minecraft. It's literally just kind of like however far you want to go. Like, is there a boundary to this that we're going for? Or?
Definitely there is.
Got it.
So you've got your farm, which is a large area.
Right.
All things considered. And then you've got the town, which is probably like 3 of your farm spaces.
Ooh, okay, gotcha.
Like pretty large. The beach, which is another kind of like your farm area. There's a lot of ocean, so maybe half of that. But beach, you've got north of town, which is like another farm-ish area. The desert, which is like 2. And then you've got the mines, which go down, which is a whole other metric.
Right, yeah.
And then other areas in the game that I haven't even gotten to.
Right.
You know, so.
I just really love that now we're in that place of video games now too. It just hit me because it reminded me of when we talked briefly about the last Zelda sequel. I forget what it's called. But
Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. But now it's like that's the metric we have to go to with gaming too. It's not just like
We can't just
surface
go
level
this
map.
way.
You literally have to go down and also up. Like that's what's the space I get to play in? Like what degree do you want to go to? Love that.
Yeah. So that's combat. And that's one of your skills. You have farming, foraging, fishing. Did I say fishing?
You might have mentioned it, but can't hurt to say it again.
Anyways, the fishing minigame is also one of the better fishing minigames.
Okay, I was going to say that's.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the pass fail for a lot of stuff. Is like, is the fishing actually enjoyable, or is it like real fishing?
It feels challenging, but not impossible, and you can get a lot of stuff that helps you be better at fishing.
Got it.
For one. So it's just such a solid game. I could gush about it for hours.
Well, what's like the path? Just out of curiosity for me, because like I'm less familiar with these style of games. What is sort of like the path for the hand holding and helping you realize like struggling with fishing? Like you can go do X, Y, Z, and you'll be more proficient in it. Like, is there sort of an easy navigation to follow, or are there like prompts that constantly come up on you?
I would say so, because when you first start off, you've got, like a whatever rod, and it explains what the fishing minigame is to you, and you can clearly see, like, oh, I'm going to have an okay time with this fish, or, oh, this fish is really difficult, I'm probably not going to catch it. But I prefer that to know, like, oh, there's difficult fish out there, and I'm just not ready to catch them yet.
Yes.
Versus what is going on, I don't understand this minigame.
Yeah.
And then all of the fishing stuff, like all of the craftable, you can see all of the craftables for one.
Oh, okay, cool.
So you can kind of know, like, oh, when I get to, whatever crafting skill, I can build this thing, and then that makes my fishing that much easier.
Gotcha.
Whatever. And you've got, like, an NPC that, like, teaches you about fishing and runs, like, a fishing shop, and then you can see all of his items, for sale.
Yeah.
And you can see, oh, it has this effect. Like, that'll be good when I get enough money, things like that.
Got it. So pretty effective.
Pretty laid out.
It's a pretty efficient laid out in-game navigation.
Yeah, I would say.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
Now, I play on the Switch because it's just my preferred. I can sit back on my couch and play. It's fun. But there's a whole other experience that you can have if you're playing on PC, because the mods for this game are ridiculous and numerous. And that's because one guy made this game and then said, here you go, world.
Yeah.
Have my game, break it, do whatever you like with it. And there's so many mods. Mods where people like reskin the whole game to make it prettier. Mods that add content, like, hey, let's slap a whole new area with new NPCs, a new dialogue, a new story, a new everything thrown on.
That's really fun.
Mods that just help out, like, oh, let's just get rid of the fishing minigame and just make it like you catch it, like, which is nice. And just like a lot of quality of life improvements through modding. And again, it's because the creator was super cool about it and was like, yeah, here's the whole code to my game. Do whatever you like with it.
Oh, I love that. It reminds me of like early day stuff when Valve was doing the Left 4 Dead games. I swear it makes sense, even though they're completely different styles of games and whatnot. But I remember watching an interview with one of the developers for the game who was just like, we made the game the way that we did because we want people to mod this shit out of it. We want to see people expand it. And people were making like whole new, like basically just like campaign story runs within the thing and whatnot itself. So I love that this dude was just like, yeah, take it and run wild. Go. Have fun with it.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
love that.
One of the coolest game developers ever. So obviously now we're here. It's a much beloved game, and it's literally reset the genre. Like everything that comes out that is even vaguely a farming sim is pulling from Stardew Valley.
There's been so many things I've seen just in the last like few years that I look at, and my initial thought when I see it and I go, oh, did they do something else with Stardew Valley? Oh no, it's a different game.
It's a different game.
Never mind.
Yeah. It's kind of like how Breath of the Wild became the template for open world RPGs.
Yeah.
Everybody started pulling from Breath of the Wild. Everyone is pulling from Stardew Valley now.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. It's one of those things, again, where it's just like, why continuously reinvent the wheel when somebody else kind of looked at it and went like, hey, here's sort of like, I figured out kind of like the perfect template to go from. Everyone else can kind of just like jump aboard and like expand upon that too, you know?
Mm-hmm, absolutely. Now, there's not just a video game. There's also the cooperative board game, which I want to get very badly. There's a cookbook, which features like 50 recipes found in the game.
That's so cute.
And a concert tour with a live chamber orchestra that performs the music from the game.
Sorry, what's this gentleman's name again?
Eric Baroni, professionally known as Concerned Ape.
Okay, so Mr. Concerned Ape. I really want to know how often this dude just kind of hears about stuff, particularly having a whole, because they do this for games like Final Fantasy and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Giving just like a whole concert performance. I wonder how often this dude just sits back and is just kind of like, how the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, how?
I mean, talk about
I was just trying to pad my resume. How did I get here?
He poured his heart and soul into it.
No, for sure. It's obviously a big passion project.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't mean that in like a diminishing way.
No, I know you didn't. I'm sitting back too, like, he just did the damn thing.
Yeah. It's often, I feel like this is one of those lessons too, and it's like it's kind of hitting hard for me a little bit right now because I'm working on like some things in the background of this podcast too that I'm trying to get like, trying to get the thing going. And I always have a thing where it's just like, well, just because like I care about it doesn't mean that anyone else is going to care about it. And then I get involved and I hear about things like this and I'm just kind of like, why am I wrapping myself up with bullshit like that? Clearly it can work if you just like really throw yourself at it. So
yeah, just make the thing that you want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Build it and they will come.
Truly.
Stardew Valley can be played on anything you like. You can play it on any console. It's available on every single console, on every modern console, PC and mobile. You can play it on Android or iOS. If you want.
No, I know. That's just perfect. That's just perfect. I feel like part of this episode was you just being like, I'm also gonna like in the background convince Jordan to play Stardew Valley.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I mean, to be fair, that is sort of like when we each come at it with our own with our games that we want to. I think that's that's like the underlying tone when we do stuff a little bit to be like, I want you to play this thing because I love it a lot.
I mean, that's kind of how this podcast started, was us sitting around. This is inspired by conversations that we would have sitting around late at night talking about the games we love and trying to convince all of our friends like, oh, you should play this too. Let me gush about it for 20 minutes.
It's exactly true.
So, yeah.
And knowing our friend group, just like mentioning the anti-capitalistic message, that would immediately be one of the first pitches to throw out there and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that though.
So looking toward the future, obviously there's like really nothing happening. The 1.6 update happened earlier this year.
Okay.
For Stardew Valley. So like things are kind of still happening with it.
Yeah.
There was like more content, more items, some quality of life improvements. So like Concerned Ape is still working on Stardew Valley to some capacity, even though it's been out for many years now.
And is it still just like him? Has he expanded a team in any way?
Just him.
Right on, dude. Get it, man. Like,
just him.
I mean, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I mean?
But what's really exciting is he's working on another title.
Interesting.
Yep, it's called Haunted Chocolatier, and I cannot fucking wait.
Please, God, tell me that you're like running a haunted chocolate factory.
Yep.
And you're like just a broken Willy Wonka trying to keep shit afloat.
I think the ghosts actually help you make the chocolate. Yeah.
It's so much better. That's so good. Oh, I need this game now. I need this game now.
We don't know too much about it. He released some like photos of it last year. But again, it's just him. So there's, it's going to be slow. It's going to be a slow roll. But
I mean, again, though, as we always say, hey, doesn't matter if you're a team of 1 or a team of 10,000. Give your artist the time that they fucking need to make their shit and make it good.
Absolutely.
I want this now, but I'll wait years. Like that looks so cute. Oh my God.
Yeah.
guys, just look up images for this, and it's just like it's the most just like adorable. Kind of reminds me that it's a little. It feels a little like what was the Super Mario that came out on the Super Nintendo?
Super Mario World?
Was it Super Mario World? It's kind of got that little bit of a feel.
Yeah,
just like in the baseline aesthetic.
It's that
to it.
pixel art style. It's super nostalgic,
It
but it
really
runs
is.
beautifully because obviously it's running on modern engines.
Yeah. There's a little ghost with safety goggles on. They have all got little safety goggles on. Oh my god.
Safety
Okay.
first, Jordan, even in the afterlife.
I understand. That's such an unnecessary thing. It makes me love it so much more. What safety are ghosts concerned with? I love it.
One of my going back to Stardew Valley because I'm
Yes.
very excited about Haunted Chocolatier,
Yes.
but we don't know much about it at all. He did
I don't
say
need to know any more about it.
I mean, you had me at the title, Haunted
Right?
Chocolatier.
I'm in.
Sounds great. One thing he did say is that there's going to be more of a focus on combat in Haunted Chocolatier.
Ooh, okay.
So okay, cool. With it? Yeah. Going back, one of my favorite little Easter eggs about Stardew Valley.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of the game, when you're setting up your character and whatever, it asks you to type in what your favorite thing is, because one of the like major collectibles in the game is these fruit called star drops. When you get a star drop, your stats increase. You get like more health and more energy. And when you eat it, there's a little dialogue box that says it kind of reminds you of the taste of, and then whatever the thing is that you filled in. So that's a little thing. But if you type in Concerned Ape, his name, there's a little extra message, and he says like, "Hey, gee, thanks."
That's so cute.
Yeah,
Oh my god, that's adorable as hell.
it's kind of great.
So not only did this dude make a great game, he's also just like a sweet human being as well.
Yeah.
I love that so much. I love it when people like. Normally this is meant in like kind of like a nefarious way, but I truly mean this in the nicest way possible. I love it when people get what they deserve. Do you know what I mean? Like someone like this who's just like a hardworking, kind dude just got all of this.
Yeah.
And I really like whatever the opposite of like jealousy is. That's what I feel for this guy. Admiration, I guess. Yeah, just like I just want nothing but good things for this man now.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I love that so much.
Yeah. So that is Stardew Valley. You think you might give it a shot now?
You know what? Especially now that we've talked about it, and I'm always trying to, especially in the world of games, trying to expand my horizons a bit. Mm-hmm. Particularly with cozy games. It's been a bit of a slow draw for me to like to really get into, because even like with something that I really dug like Spiritfarer, I eventually just kind of fell off of it a little bit. Mostly because I was just struggling with like figuring out like what to do next for the game for like some of the people on the boat and whatnot. But this seems like it's a little bit. This feels like it's a little bit more in my lane, because like it's not directly plot driven, but there is definitely like narrative stuff that I can really, really get into. And also, again, anti-capitalistic message. I'm fucking there. Let's go. I'm into it. Yeah. So yes, short answer. I will definitely give it a shot and report my findings.
It worked. Well, that was Stardew Valley, and we have now reached the bonus round. We're going to play a little game. Our producer, Caitlin, behind the camera, is going to tell us all about it. Caitlin, what do you got for us today?
All right, well, I've got this game called Make It Cozy.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a title of an existing video game, and you're going to tell me how you would turn it into a cozy game.
All right.
That's
Let's
awesome.
go. Let's go.
That's so
all
awesome.
All right, so we're going to start off, I think, obviously, we're going to start off with Call of Duty.
Hey, I got this.
Okay.
I got this right away.
How much of the original game has to be retained? Is my question.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like, do we need to does the genre need to stay the same? Like, does Call of Duty need to still be a first-person shooter? Does it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Retain the integrity of the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, change what you think it needs to be changed in order to make it cozy.
Okay. Dude,
I've got
something.
one.
Okay, go for it. You got it.
Right,
You got it. Go.
You are part of a special task group that. Go with me.
I'm with you here. I'm on the ride, man. Let's go.
Task group, a special plumbing task group. You get shrunk down to fit into sewer pipes. Particularly in homes where the most plumbing chaos happens. You get shrunk down real tiny, and you've got special gear, and you got guns, whatever, because they're like bugs and stuff. You get dropped into plumbing systems that are backed up. You gotta clear them out, and you gotta defend yourself against bugs, roaches, and squirrels, and like a whole bunch of stuff, whatever you might find in a home. And you clear out the pipes. Call of Duty.
It's...
Did you not know I was building up to that?
Didn't realize you were building up to a poop pun. Didn't realize. I should have seen it coming. That's amazing. Oh my god, that's so good though, Brendan.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
So it's like, it's more exciting than like a regular cozy game, but it's still like, you're just a guy clearing out poop.
You're a tiny little plumber in full tack gear, getting dropped in. Oh, and it's
very
works.
like,
it
the
works,
way
though.
the way I see it is like, it's very like, it takes two. You know, like very that.
Yes. I love it. Oh my god, that's really good.
Thank you.
I love that a lot.
Call of Duty.
Spelling changes, dude. T-O-O-T-Y.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All right, Jordan, do you have one, or should I go on to the...
Let's just go to the next one. I'm okay with like whoever kind of gets it first.
I just
That's awesome.
All right, here's the next one. Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, okay. I've got this one. So, for the most part, kind of keeping the same zhuzh and the same vibe and whatnot, right? Open world, kind of go wherever you want.
Yeah.
You're this really seedy character, kind of just like either coming fresh out of prison or with like a criminal past.
Okay.
And blah 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 blah. But you're dropped into the middle of this like a metropolis type city. And the overall goal that you have to do is just restructuring the park system in the city. And you have to do, but here's the thing, because it's still Grand Theft Auto, you have to do whatever the fuck it takes to get it done. So if that means running down building managers in a car, starting like union wars between the different operators and stuff like that, just whatever you can do to get like whatever that version of like Central Park is up and running and beautiful and gorgeous again.
Does that happen off screen? Is it like Greek tragedy? Like all the unpleasantness just happens off screen?
Well, it's one of those things where it's like it's the option to go do that thing. It's very Stardew Valley. It's like you don't have to go do any of the violence.
You don't have
but the
to.
option's there, and it makes it way easier to get shit done too.
That's so funny.
So yeah, just like it's
Build this park.
yeah, but yeah, because it's like typically in GTA, like there's a whole goal of like big bank heists or like overthrowing the criminal underworld and blah 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 blah. No man, your whole zhuzh is just getting the park fixed. That's what you want. It's you know what it is. It's
Parks and Rec.
It's
GTA Parks and Rec.
That's what I was gonna say. It's if you put Leslie Knope in GTA. That's what it is.
Oh my god.
I want this now. Though.
I do too.
I want this so bad.
I want both of these games.
Truly.
Okay. I've got a few more.
Okay, let's go.
So let's do League of Legends.
Oh, that's a tough one. That one's really tough.
Yeah, because it's a MOBA.
Yeah, it's a MOBA. It's also one I'm not the most familiar with outside of the show.
I'm reasonably
Arcane.
familiar. I'm reasonably familiar with the game. Arcane also has like nothing. Like Arcane informs you about nothing.
No,
about League of Legends.
truly. Even I know like it uses the lore as like an inspiration. It's not even like directly connected to it or anything like that. Season 2 is coming out soon. I'm very excited. As I stall to try to think of what this could possibly be.
The way you make League of Legends cozy is you make it a board game. It's same thing. You got little pieces on the board, and you're moving. You got two teams, sure. And they're moving against each other, whatever, fighting, whatever. But it's a board game. That's how you make it cozy.
I feel like
I kind of took the coward's way out there.
I feel like we have different ideas of cozy because the way that some of us play board games is not always cozy.
How do we play board games, Jordan?
Competitively. Often very damn competitively.
Okay, if you're unfamiliar or you just want to pass on any of these, just say pass and we'll move on.
No, I like watching us struggle through trying to make it happen.
Okay, because some of these I'm obviously not familiar with, so...
Got you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, next one, Elden Ring.
Ooh,
That was like
Elden
the
Ring.
opposite of a cozy game.
Literally the exact opposite of a cozy game.
Maybe the furthest away so far.
Okay, I've got it. It's basically, you take the Elden Ring world, but you just kind of like give it the overall Stardew Valley aesthetic and feel to it. But then everything that you do in Stardew Valley is no longer fun and enjoyable. So it's like where we just talked about how it's one of the ones that has like the nice fishing mechanic to it that's enjoyable and fun. Horrendous, stressful as hell.
Oh my god.
Fishing mechanic. All of your relationships are tumultuous as hell.
my gosh.
It's a struggle to talk to literally fucking anybody
Anyone.
in that game. And instead of it just being like the one building of the corporation you have to compete with, you go into town and it's just Walmart every fucking where on every goddamn corner you go to. No hope. It's we've Game of Thrones to Stardew Valley is basically what we've done here with this one.
Yeah. Oh, you may have just pitched the most horrible game ever conceived.
Yeah. It makes me kind of sad a little bit just thinking about it.
It's still cozy. You still get to fish.
Yeah, technically you still get to go fish and just like build your crops. And you could just choose to just like ignore the struggles of the town people next to you and just focus on your farm.
God. That's what it is. You're just a farmer trying to live your life.
Just trying to exist.
Chaos and strife everywhere.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my god.
I love that.
Ugh.
Alright, I have 3 more.
Mm-hmm.
Mortal Kombat.
I feel like with the longevity and the legacy of Mortal Kombat and just how many different iterations and trials they've made of like making different styles of Mortal Kombat games, there's somewhere out there is like a fan-made cozy Mortal Kombat game that exists somewhere. My initial thought is just you're the dude who has to like clean up after the tournaments.
That's good. You're like an arena keeper.
You'd be an arena keeper who's got like the little bit of stress that you have is just like, gotta get this all done before the next Mortal Kombat.
Oh my gosh. That's good. My God, I gotta scrape this blood off the arena floor. Just another day in the office for old Jim.
You're just some normal dude who has to take care of.
Yeah.
But because there's all the different stages in Mortal Kombat, you have to go through all of them as well.
Keep them all.
You gotta take care of them all.
You're like house manager for
oh my god
arenas.
So I love my favorite thing is just like giving just like some dude just like too much power to thing. So you're a dude with the ability to like dimension jump basically, but you're just there
naturally
for cleanup and maintaining aesthetic.
Yep, I love that.
That's honestly a really fun idea.
So silly.
Okay, 2 more.
Yeah, let's go.
Fortnite.
I mean, here's the thing. Whatever we say, Fortnite is gonna do. Do you know what I mean? Because like Fortnite is slowly trying to become the game that can do everything. Like they're slowly working towards that. So whatever we put out here for Fortnite, they're gonna either take or they're already working on it in some way.
I think I got
go
this.
for it. Go for it.
So you know how people get like dropped in?
Yes.
In Fortnite? Well, somebody's got to fly those planes. So you are the pilot. You fly a plane, you pick people up and say good day, and you let them all get in your plane, and you go, oh, it's time to go, and you fly off and you drop them in.
Oh my god! Because Fortnite has so many different licenses, I just have this image of like one little cutscene of a dude in the plane just being like, "Oh, good day, Master Chief, Kratos, Captain America, just all the
Spider-Man,
all the different ones coming into the plane."
That's good.
Oh my god,
that's funny.
And you just drop them off and go like, "Wonder what they're doing." Go and pick up more. oblivious to the fact that he's dropping people off into a battle zone.
No idea what's going on.
No clue.
Absolutely.
And then you have to go back, fix up the plane, maintain all your shit, and
yeah.
take in the next shipment to Fortnite.
I'd play it.
I would too. Honestly, that's really fun. I love that.
All right, last one. Mass Effect.
I feel like there's an easy, obvious answer here.
I mean, yeah, it's Mass Effect, same world, same everything.
Yes.
But you play as the consort. There you go.
The Asari consort?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's just about, it's about, you got some, like, there's
technically cozy in a different way, I guess.
There's some, like, espionage kind of happening. You have to maintain relationships. There's, like, stuff that you're trying to figure out on the Citadel. That's my pitch for this.
Complete tangent now away from this minigame. I now want that Telltale game.
That is a Telltale game.
About the Asari consort and what she does. Like, that's, honestly, I want this really badly. That's a great idea. Yeah. My thought was gonna be just like very simple. Just you're one of the shop owners on the Citadel.
Oh,
very cozy, like that one. Like I think you talked about it on here, like that potion maker game.
It's called My Favorite Store on the Citadel. It's called My Favorite Store on the Citadel.
Yes, it is. Yes, it freaking is. Oh, that's so good.
That's really good.
And it's pixelated art, but like Mass Effect style.
Absolutely. It's like what's that game? Moonlighter.
Yeah. Oh,
that's what it is. It's like Moonlighter. So you own and operate a shop by day, but then by night you have to like go maybe fly out to another planet and like gather supplies and things to sell in your shop.
Yes.
That.
I love that so freaking much. And then just like the big like win that you get is the day that Shepard walks into your store and buys your wares.
I think that's like day one, like the very first time you fire up the game. That's like the first thing that happens.
Ooh, okay, gotcha.
It's like the inciting incident, and you're like, oh, I have to do better. And then that's
the beginning of the game is your guy being like, this isn't gonna work. I gotta sell the shop. It's not gonna happen. And then Shepard walks in.
Yep.
I love that because it kind of keeps with the spirit of like, again, because we're Paragon players, of this spirit of like how one of the quote unquote like superpowers of Shepard is in their ability to inspire others into doing bigger and greater things and whatnot, stepping outside of what they thought that they could do and whatnot. And that goes into, I really love this actually. Hey, BioWare.
Hey, yeah. Hit us up.
I was going to say, just take this idea. I just want this. I just want this to happen now.
Oh my god.
Please just give us this little cozy Mass Effect shopkeeper game. Oh my god.
I could play this shit out of it.
I'd play the hell out of that thing, yeah.
Thank you guys for listening. We want to know, have you played Stardew Valley? What do you think? And are you excited about Haunted Chocolatier like we are? Let us know in the comments.
Also, if you have any ideas for future discussions on our show, please send us an email at 3vopodcastteam@gmail.com. Give us your ideas. You can also find us literally everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're on TikTok. At 3VO Podcast, literally wherever you want to look us up. Please make sure to comment, like, subscribe to our show. It really, really makes a difference, guys. And as always, thank you so much for listening.
Bye.